Hey, you all, it's Lace. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I just got out of staff meeting with the girls, and I was informed that we are currently about $3,000 short of our goal for this month. On one hand, that's not your problem. On the other hand, it absolutely is. One of the things that is important to us is sustainability, that we're able to keep a reserve. And when we have to go into our reserve in order to meet our monthly obligations, that is concerning to me. I've also said, and I am so hesitant to mention it, that in this, the first month of my having Lace on Race as my only vocation, this is the first time literally in almost a year when we have not met goal in this significant way. We talked about the reasons for it. We're going into the holiday season because I have had significant challenges over the last couple months with my parents that I have not done asks. We have not done newsletters. We have not told you of the community partner, and we will, that we did indeed fund this month, regardless of whether or not we meet goal. But I also think it's important that I am candid with you now. I am a bit worried. We talked about the fact that 1 month of not meeting goal does not a trend make. But at the same time, we didn't meet goal. And I do wonder what that portends to the months going forward. As we are doing the work offline to make Lace on Race Cafe a reality, and the fact that we have decided that we are going to continue to be challenging, some might even say hard-hitting, when we could be a lot softer and a lot more pandering so that we could indeed make our nut, as they say. But that is not in service to our North Star. For those of you who are sustainers and have yet to meet your commitment, please do so. For those of you who are sustainers in training, please do so. For those of you who want to make sure that we are around for the long haul, please do so. On the one hand, talking about our specific challenges feels funky to me. I do not think that any of you should be financially engaging with us because we're nervous or scared. More to the point, because I'm nervous or scared. It should be part of your praxis. It should be part of your walking with integrity and in alignment with our North Star. But both things can be true at the same time. We absolutely feel that financial engagement is part of your praxis, that it is not ancillary to or a distraction from your praxis and your practice here. At the same time, we want to be sure that we're available. We are putting a lot into the new iteration of Lace on Race when it launches in January, and we are aware of some things. That when I'm not around on the boards a lot, engagement goes down and people do not think they're getting their money's worth, and there's a lot of really funky dynamic that goes into that. The fact of the matter is that we do need you. $3,000 is a significant amount. I would like to make it up. I also know that I can't coerce you or guilt you or manipulate you into doing this. But we have had one of the most active times on the message boards and on posts than we have seen in quite some time. We also talked about this. One of the things that made me feel confident about leaving my county job and doing Lace on Race as my only vocation is because of the high engagement, both in terms of post engagement and in terms of financial engagement that we received during the late spring and early summer months. That is what cemented my decision. It was also a time of crisis for us. We had Jim and Kate, we had the Christian left, we had everything that was going on a national level. Breonna Taylor, the shootings going into the election. And everybody is feeling more than a little bit hungover. And I totally get that. I feel it. I feel it every bit as much as you do. That said, our participation and our engagement can't only be at crisis points or when you see something in the news and you want to do something, so you press the financial engagement button. Part of reliability, relentless reliability, means making sure that entities that matter to you happen even when there are not incendiary or provocative things going on. We could chase the headlines. We could. We choose not to do so. We choose to talk about topics that are enduring and about issues that have staying power. Topical things could work in the short term, but what we're looking for here is reliable and resilient and relentless reliability. Whether or not something in the headlines activates you, or you feel that you need to be engaged in something that is part of the national conversation. We absolutely want you to be part of the national conversation, but we also need you to be able to do the work here. So I am asking, we need to make up this deficit. And on a very personal level, this feels like a referendum. Whether or not it is coincidental that the very first time in months that our financial engagement is down is the month that I am doing this work exclusively. And whether or not there are some of you who feel, and I'm going to call a thing, I'm going to make the covert overt. Whether or not some of you feel, why should I pay her? Why should I give my money so that she can have Cheerios? The idea that we are making covert the fact that now I am getting paid is galvanizing to some, but also inhibiting to others. And we need to talk about that. We need to make that plain. I am the single biggest dispense of Lace on Race. So yes, when you are financially engaging, you are also financially engaging with me and making sure that I have Honey Nut Cheerios. And I shouldn't have to apologize for that or feel that I need to justify it. You all know that you get my best. You get my staff's best. You get my leadership team's best. And we're hoping that the trend does not continue going into December. Giving Tuesday happens to be two things: my father's birthday and the first of the month. We are going to be doing Giving Tuesday a little bit differently than most people. We are not going to only be asking on behalf of Lace on Race, and we will be asking on behalf of Lace on Race, but we're also going to be turning our attention to small grassroots efforts and inviting you to both post who you are also supporting. Yes, we need your funding. We need your financial engagement. I can't lie about that. And part of me is angry with myself that I don't have a $2 million stash somewhere that allows me to give you this service and this education and this engagement for free. But that's not true. We need it. But also, other smaller organizations, smaller even than ours, also need your financial engagement. And so we will be doing a both and on Giving Tuesday. Usually Giving Tuesday benefits the usual suspects, the big 501c3s and nonprofits. And the grassroots organizations and individuals that do the work faithfully, day in and day out, look on empty-handed. That shouldn't be. And so we are going to be asking you to live out your praxis in both of those ways in Giving Tuesday. And you can do that before Giving Tuesday, actually. But right now, at the end of November, we are asking you to stand with and to partner with us during this time of we need you. We are incredibly grateful for everything that you all do. We're grateful for the engagement. We're even grateful for the lumpy crossings that we have seen over these past few days, and they have been lumpy indeed. We hope that we have been able to hold you well, uncompromisingly, but well. We knew that it was a risk giving you 4 hard-hitting articles in a row that you had to look at and confront. 5, if you count the New York Times article. 6, if you count the meme that I put up that talked about people leaving. The question is, who are we going to be in the here and now and in the long haul? Do you want Lace on Race to be here this time next year? And if the answer is yes, in any way yes, we ask for your financial participation. You know how much I hate to do these things, but you also know how much I love this work and how much I love you. So I'm taking a risk and asking overtly. Thank you.